Well, I entered on September 7th, 1969 with five other women. There are four of us still here. I wanted to be a sister since I was a little child. I loved the sisters who taught me in school. They were at Providence, St. Mary of the Woods, Indiana. But I didn't want to go to Indiana. And I knew Sister Henrietta here, and I came for a come and see and fell in love with the community. They knew how to play, they knew how to pray, and they certainly knew how to serve and minister. So the joy that they had in doing all of that and in being together, it was very attractive to me.
I entered the congregation in 1969. It was just after the change, and it was also after Vatican II, of course. And what called me to the Sisters of St. Joseph was their spirit. I grew up with them, actually. I attended one of their schools in Linwood, St. Emilius, and then when I went to high school at Pius X, they were also teaching there. I just loved their spirit, plus I was the girls' coach for the elementary school.
I had always wanted to be a sister, and after a while discerning, I've decided to join the Navy. So I spent 4 years in the U.S. Navy, and until the end of my enlistment, at the end of my 4 years, I entered the Sisters of St. Joseph.
I entered the community in 1959, and in the years that we finished high school, most of the options for us were to either become an airline stewardess, a secretary, get married, none of which I wanted to do right at that time. And I think in my heart I really had a deep yearning for God, but didn't realize it. And I enjoyed our sisters in high school, and so was attracted to this community.
Well, I think the overall ministry that I've been in all these years is education/spirituality. Because whether I was a teacher in an elementary school, or being vocation director, or working with formation people, or doing spiritual direction and working at the Spirituality Center, it was always about that relationship and educating, not just teaching, but educating, presenting, inviting people into something more.
I've been gifted with a variety of ministries. I can't single out one being my favorite over another one. What I can say, though, is that I'm a change agent, and I did make change everywhere where I went, and the change has sustained itself over the years and decades. My favorite ministry, of course, is healthcare. I've spent probably 47 years in that, in varying roles.
I spent 37 years in our healthcare system, which was very fulfilling, and I learned a lot, ministering to others and in our different ministries within the health system. I enjoy living, especially in the Northern California. To me, that's God's country. I also live in Sydney, Australia, with our sisters there, and I had a chance to visit our missionary sisters in Papua New Guinea. So no matter where I was grateful to have a community of sisters with the same charism.
I really liked my ministries, and it was more about relationships than about the tasks that I was doing. I loved my ministries that dealt with any kind of formation, of bringing people to union with themselves, with others, and with God.
Life as a Sister of St. Joseph has been what God has called me to and what's made me who I am. I think overall, that's the basic thing. I love being a Sister of St. Joseph.
Favorite memories of being a sister? All of them. I wouldn't change any of them. Actually, when I thought about Jubilee, for me it's about gratitude for all the experiences. I've probably had more than what most people would have in a lifetime.
When I made the CSJ pilgrimage in Le Puy, France, and I walked and traced back to our history, which is so rich, and I was in awe every place I went. I wanted to learn and read more about our sisters and what they had endured and lived through that. I wanted to carry on their legacy.
Well, for me, Jubilee is a time of remembering, of celebrating, of giving thanks. It's a time to say all has been grace and all has been gift, and to treasure those things and to reflect on the people that were involved in all those in that whole life story. I mean, people in every ministry I've ever been in, committees, groups, whatever it is, and in the congregation itself. And so it's remembering, and it's celebrating, and it's giving thanks.
This Jubilee year for me means looking back at all the people who have had an influence on my life and who have helped me to grow, and just a great deal of thanksgiving for all that was, is, and will be. So that's what Jubilee means for me. It's just living out of a heart of gratitude for all.
This Jubilee is really a time of great gratitude, of thanksgiving for all that was, all that is, and all that is yet to be. I am totally amazed when I think about the immensity of God, the source of being of all of the universe, and yet this total, tender, caring love for each of us.